What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today we're going to talk about the Tennessee Titans hiring Mike Borgonzi, one of the top general manager candidates off the board. Now what? So today it became official. The Tennessee Titans interviewed Mike Borgonzi twice, and he is going to be the new general manager of the Tennessee Titans. Now, a lot of work to be done in Tennessee, obviously, but they do have the #1 overall pick in this year's draft. That process went pretty quickly. If you remember, they fired their general manager 2 weeks ago after the season came to a close, and they waited an extra 2 days, I believe, if memory serves correctly, and then they decided to move on from the general manager, and in the span of 2 weeks, they were able to come up with a list, interview said candidates, interview their favorite candidate a second time, and then hire said favorite candidate, who they interviewed for a second time. For comparison, the Jets fired Joe Douglas 8 weeks ago and have not yet started the second round of interviews yet. Don't worry, though, they have talked to 32 different names at both head coach and general manager. I believe it's up to 17 in the head coaching search and 15 for the general manager search, but really scratch that number down to 14 as Mike Borgonzi has come off the board. I am not saying that the Jets had to hire Mike Borgonzi and it's some sort of abject failure if they didn't hire him and they hire someone else and there's no other good names on the list. There are retread option, Thomas Dimitroff, Mike Greenberg from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Alec Hallaby from the Eagles, Chris Spielman from the Lions. There are still viable options available, but it's time to start moving on to second interviews. They've had 8 weeks for the general manager search. They fired the coach in week 3, right? No, 5? Week 5, Week 5. So they've only had 17 weeks to figure that out, however long it's been. Point being, it's time to start getting this moving in the right direction. 32 names on the head coaching and GM list is a wide enough net. I'm all about casting a wide net. I'm not saying do it like the Pats. Interview 3 people, with 2 of them being a joke. Last few times the Jets did this, they interviewed 8 or 9 candidates for their head coaching position. This year they did 17. They more than doubled it. Wasn't the point of the 33rd team to come up with a list, albeit a wide, numerous list, but don't you eventually have to narrow this thing down? Are people going to continue to get added to this list? Are they going to get up to 20 on either side of the equation? That is my question for you, because it just feels like this is a never-ending process. And the Titans were able to do this very, very rapidly, and there are only so many options available that it's time. Again, I feel like a broken record, but it's time to start getting it together. Pick your favorite, top 4 candidates for each, scratch off the names you don't want, and start scheduling these second interviews. We were told that the reason why the Jets fired Joe Douglas after week 11 was so that they could begin this process. They were supposed to have a leg up on their competition. Their competition just made this move 2 weeks ago and have already hired what was widely considered the #1 general manager option out there on the board. Who knows how he ends up? He could be an absolute bust in Tennessee. I'm not saying it's a guarantee that Mike Borgonzi is working out with the Titans or that the Jets, again, repeating myself, but I'm not saying they had to sign Mike Borgonzi to be their GM. They just got to speed this process up. If you want the experience route, Thomas Dimitroff. If you want the analytic route, you're probably better going off with an Alec Hallaby or Greenberg if you want a cap guy, or if you want the old school football guy who helped to rebuild a shitty organization. Spielman's probably a pretty good option for him, even though he's Rich Spielman's brother. I get it, nepotism, the whole thing. 32 names from the 33rd team. I guess that's fitting. Didn't think of it like that until now, but 32 names. Maybe they add one more for good measure. Hey, 33rd team came up with 33 names for the New York Jets. Get it together, guys. Time to start moving this in the right direction. You're a couple weeks out from the Senior Bowl. It'd be nice to have an idea of who your general manager is at that point. Start building your staff. The reason why you fired the GM and the coach in season was to get a jump. Use that to your advantage. Just a quick video today with my reaction. Let me know your reaction down below in the chat. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I will catch you next time.